Today's news. Today's news.
Deadline day.
New tariff rates are currently in place.
Ukraine summit.
A meeting between President Putin and President Trump.
Tech issue hits United Airlines.
I really am ready to be home.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan. With the CBS World News Roundup, President Trump took to social media around midnight to proclaim that billions of dollars are flowing into the U.S. because of his tariffs. New ones have taken hold today, affecting more than 90 countries. They start at 15%, but in some nations, rates are higher. Experts say it will likely mean higher prices for American consumers. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
The U.S. tariff rate will be at around 17 or 18%, compared to 2.5% before President Trump took office. And that would be the highest tariff rate since the 1930s. The impact of these tariffs could be felt towards the end of this year, as certain tariff-related goods could see an increase in price levels. Consumers are likely to see price increases when they buy a car, whether it's domestic or imported, a computer, an electronic gadget, a toy, furniture.
White House correspondent Ed O'Keefe tells us signs are pointing to a meeting between President Trump and Russia's President Vladimir Putin in the coming days as the war in Ukraine rages on.
There's a good chance that there will be a meeting very soon.
President Trump said Wednesday he could meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky together soon. Overnight, a Kremlin official responded saying a meeting had been agreed to, but just between the U.S. and Russian leaders, with a possible venue announced later. Trump has increasingly voiced frustration with Putin over Russia's attacks on Ukraine as the U.S. tries brokering a peace deal.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
And despite Trump's current optimism, he's still threatening economic sanctions against Russia this Friday, including penalties on countries who purchase Russian oil, like India.
Hundreds of United Airlines flights were grounded overnight by an unspecified technology issue that's now been resolved. CBS's Chris Van Cleve says it affected major hubs, including Newark, Chicago, and Denver.
A system outage halted departures, prompting ground stops at several key United hubs nationwide, delaying hundreds of flights coast to coast, while others arrived at their destinations only to wait for hours in what amounted to a traffic jam on the tarmac. The system, known as Unimatic, feeds information to other airline systems, including those tracking flight times.
It's critical to the safe operation of United.
Airline analyst Henry Harteveld.
Airlines, they usually have backup systems, and that's why this is very unusual, that there was no backup for the United system.
That failure also prevented some from checking their bags.
I went to the self-check and it wouldn't process my luggage between all of the time spent waiting for agents and stuff. I missed my flight.
Investigators are looking into how a U.S. Army sergeant was able to bring a personal weapon onto Fort Stewart in Georgia and use it on fellow soldiers. Here's CBS's Skylar Henry.
An active duty soldier opened fire on Fort Stewart, injuring 5 of his fellow soldiers.
We have identified the alleged shooter as Sergeant Cornelius Radford.
Radford reportedly used a personal handgun in the shooting of the 5 service members, all of whom were identified as Radford's co-workers.
All are in stable condition, and all are expected to recover.
The suspect was apprehended by the Army Criminal Investigative Division after being tackled to the ground by witnesses.
Now to the Middle East, correspondent Deborah Patta spoke with Mike Huckabee, the U.S. ambassador to Israel, about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza.
President Trump has said there's real starvation in Gaza, and you appear deeply troubled by images of starving children. Have you been similarly moved?
I'm moved when the photos are verified.
But they are real images.
Oh, I think that there are certainly people suffering in Gaza. It's happening because Hamas has not allowed the food to get to the people who are hungry.
We spoke to the World Food Program, and they have not been shown any evidence of this at all. What they say...
I'm shocked they would say that.
Increasingly strong language is being used about Israel's prosecution of this war. He's accused of genocide.
If Israel is attempting genocide, they're really, really bad at it. They could have had genocide on October the 8th. If they were trying to commit genocide, it would not have taken them 22 months to do it.
4 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. It's 60 degrees in American Canyon, and I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all